RTHK Radio 3.
You're listening to the 123 show with me, Noreen Mir, on this Tuesday afternoon. Now let's turn to our very first topic of today. In the next 25 minutes or so, you will hear about an Indian dance drama which will be presented by Beyond Bollywood on the 17th of February in the Hong Kong City Hall. And it was first premiered in Taipei at the end of last year in 2018. And to tell us more, we're excited to welcome to the program the dancers and also the choreographers, Neesha Jhaveri, Oxana McMahon, and also Uday Sathala. So welcome to the program. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We are on Facebook Live as well, Noreen Mir on RTHK Radio 3, so you'll be able to, maybe if you're lucky, see a few dance moves as well. At least we'll be able to see our guests as well. So maybe if I can start off with you first, Neesha. Tell us a little bit more about this Indian dance drama. What is it about?
This drama is about a Chinese traveler coming down to India and having a look at all the different dance styles which are being presented in India. So it started off with this collaboration that I'm into Indian classical dance Kathak, Oxana is into Bharatanatyam, and Uday is into folk dances. And we thought this would be a great idea of putting all the three dance styles together in a story form.
And how did you all meet then? Did you know each other previously as well, before the collaboration?
Yes, it is interesting. We did know each other before the collaboration, but thanks to Benis, who has got all of us together and had this idea of we doing it together as a Hong Kong team, going to Taipei and performing.
That's right. I should mention, thank you very much to Benis Chang as well, who organised this interview from Beyond Bollywood. So you mentioned just now the few different styles of dances. Talk us through, what's your style of dance? How do I say it again?
Kathak.
Kathak?
Yes.
And what does it mean, and what style of dance is that?
So Kathak comes from North India. It's a North Indian pure classical dance form. It's one of the dance styles, classical dance styles. And it basically has a lot of dizzying pirouettes, lots of footwork movement. And it's a very fast rhythmic dance form. So what interested me years back was this whole complete fast movements and rhythm, which got me into learning this dance form right from my childhood.
All right, well, let's hear other dance forms as well. Oxana, welcome back on the show. Oxana and I go way back. Oxana, you were one of my first interviewees about 5 years ago, so it's great to see you again.
Great to see you, Noreen.
So tell us about your dance style then. What is it called again, and what style of dance is that?
So this is one of the classical dance styles of India. It's called Bharatanatyam, and it's from South India, from the state of Tamil Nadu. And it claims to be one of the oldest styles of classical dance. It started at the temples as a devotional dance, and of course it progressed through ages, and now it's more performed on the stage, but it hasn't lost its devotional aspect. And this is part of the idea that we want to show in our drama, that it's actually the traveler arrives by sea, and he goes into the South India and he sees the temple and how the dance is being kind of married to the god Nataraja, and all the devotional aspect, and how the dances go outside so people can see this sacred ceremony, and then the dance goes on stage, and of course it starts being popular and people want to learn it, so it goes to the classroom. So this is kind of a journey within the Bharatanatyam aspect.
And what's the pace of that dance then? Is it fast or is it slow, or what?
It has lots of different combinations. The same as actually, yes, Kathak as well. Yes. So the two main characteristics is Abhinaya, which is the acting or like the drama part. So the dancer becomes like an actress or an actor, and she portrays all the roles, not only one, but she becomes many characters. And also there's a Nritta, which is exciting pure dance with rhythmical sequences like postures and different combinations. So, and they usually come together. So, the story comes in between this exciting sequences.
Okay. Uday, welcome to the program. Thanks very much for joining us.
Sorry.
So, what's your style of dance then? What do you bring to this performance?
For this performance, I brought the folk dance. It's a traditional folk. Like in India, we have each state have their own traditional style. Some state have two different style of folk dances. Yeah, so all the tribal, can say tribal, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a different part of that classical, and this is like later on comes with the villages.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how does that fit into the play then? Are there religious aspects as well?
Yeah,
or-
like we started with the Bharatanatyam, because from the temple we started. From temple we went to the palace and the king's places with the Kathak. Then after kings finish, how the generation change to the the normal life with the olden days. So we bring that folk traditional inside that between.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
talk us through some of the concepts of your dance pieces then. Your dancers yourselves. You also choreographed for the dancers for the performance. How many dancers do you have in total for this performance?
In all, we have 28 dancers.
That's actually quite a big crew.
That's a big group.
Big
to
group,
organize
yeah.
and to
Yeah.
think of how the movements of each dancers, is it the same, or to how they complement each other as well. So what's the concept behind some of these dance pieces then? Neesha, maybe you start.
Well, as what Oxana already mentioned, that the concept goes with the Chinese traveler coming in, and he comes through the sea. He watches first the dances in the temples, and then from there, where he moves a little towards the north of India, he watches the same different kind of dances in the palaces, and from there he gets into the villages where he sees the folk art forms, and at the end we collaborate with a complete mix of all our dance styles, where I think he's just ecstatic to see all the different dance forms coming together.
I think that's remarkable, being able to tell a story. There's no dialogue.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
no
no
dialogue.
dialogue.
Exactly. So there's no dialogue, and to be able to really tell that narrative and to carry the audience who may not be so familiar with the story, and for them to understand, I think that sort of expression of the body of dance really is really quite magical, and you don't even have to speak the same language, because
Sure.
if we all see it, then we'll be able to see it as well. So what inspired you for the choreography to make it carry the story? I mean, what inspired you to choreograph? Oksana?
Well, first, of course, because we know Indian dance, so that was the main theme, right? Indian dance. And then we had to connect Chinese aspect. So actually, Neesha Ji did a lot of research, and she found out about the traveler. And we don't want to mention names, it's just kind of like a concept, right? Because people can relate to it. And we didn't want to leave it at dance as well, because it can be a different way of looking at it. Like, people don't have to really know about the history of dance. They can just see how the traveler sees the happenings on stage through his own eyes, and he can relate maybe in a different way, right? So it's not just that, he says, these dances are good, these dances are not good, I like this one. He looks at it in a different way, of colors, smells, sounds, of all the things that happening. So I think people through the audience, even not knowing the background, hopefully they'll go through the transition and different moods and different ideas, and how folk dance is joy and so simple to relate to, and probably the temple is more sacred, and the Kathak is so amazing, glittery, like turns. So this is a different journey for different people.
Yeah. Neesha?
What is interesting in this dance drama, what I felt was more touching, was not just this upper aspect. There are two aspects to it. There's one outer and inner. Outer is where he just watches the dance styles and he gets fascinated. But there's an inner journey that he's going through as well. So being a Chinese, coming here, watching all the Indian dances, not just dances, but the idea is actually that traveler comes down to learn Indian scriptures. So again, going back, not naming anybody as such, but while I was doing the research and reading more about it, I got to know that he was also going through an inner journey of his, and therefore we thought that the apt name for this dance drama should be A Journey Within, where he has a journey, not just outwardly journey, but also a journey within himself.
Yeah, Uday, what are your thoughts on this as well? The concept of it.
The concept, actually, when Neesha mentioned me about this journey thing, I said it's a nice way to bring up from south to north to the whole part, and even like more different styles can put it inside more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And, we've all experienced different journeys of traveling ourselves, so it's something that we can all relate to. Let's talk a little bit about rehearsal process, because, because, us as audience, we go and the performance is ready, it's perfect, and there's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. And like you said, there's a huge crew as well. There are 28 dancers that you have to manage as well. What's the rehearsal process been like then?
See, we have 3 different styles. So you can understand how to combine all together, like when we come to the finale. It's totally different than what we individually do that.
Yes.
So it's matches like 3 different styles putting in a one performance, showing up. It looks like more gorgeous like that way.
And sorry,
So we
Neesha?
started actually with each individual groups. So we started with, say, 9 students of mine were performing, and then 8 students of Oxana. So we started individually working on our own pieces. And then the finale is what we got together. And for that finale, thanks to Benis again, that she put down the dates well in advance so that we could let everybody know. And of course, the timings are really crazy. If we let you know, it's 9 to 11 at night where we are rehearsing, because that's the only time we all can come together.
I suppose because, everybody has a job or
that's
commitment.
exactly.
Wow.
That's exactly. So yes, it has
Aren't
been.
they too tired? They're pretty energetic. You make sure they.
In the morning at their own classes, come back, evening 9 to 11. We kind of polish them. It's more work hard. Really thanks to the students and Benis that they give more energy, for this focusing on this event also, the journey.
Sorry, go on, Oxana.
Yeah, it's been a very long journey for ourselves.